The idea that you have to sit in silent meditation, in the lotus position, for hours on end, every day for decades, garnished by sporadic aha moments, satori glimpses, until finally, one day, years upon years, perhaps incarnations in the future, you get it. It clicks and never seems to unclick again. That model of spiritual insight is outdated. It is obsolete. And some of the most awake people on this planetary sphere have never sat down and meditated a day in their lives. Listen to yourself. Notice what stories come up, what physical sensations accompany those stories as I speak. We say that we need to respect the great sages, the ancient teachers. And on one hand, that's absolutely true. There is such profound love and wisdom expressed, simply embodied by those teachings. However, the word respect is often distorted in a way that undermines our own innate power. And anyone who is truly authentic with themselves on this path, no matter what tradition they come from, they'll always agree with you on one thing. Everything that seems to be happening, the true knowing of that, is simultaneously always receding from view, and yet the very essence of who you are. Meaning that although, from a relative perspective, there is a perceived value of spiritual practice, although it might loosen up certain energetic expressions in your body, although it might perceptually open you to higher frequencies, true mastery is completely independent from any of that. True mastery is refusing to undermine your innate power and embracing every contour of your inner life and every facet of your experience with unconditional love. True mastery is complete silence. When I say silence, all I mean is that you give yourself the space to listen to all of these cues that life gives you. Life is both the very substance of who you are, as well as this vibratory field that is buzzing all around you and is guiding you to exactly what you need in this moment. You're afraid that if you step fully into this truth, if you allow yourself to live from your heart rather than your head, then all of these concepts and identities that you clutched to so dearly You worry that they're going to disappear. You worry that you're not going to be able to function in the world. You're going to lose your job. You're not going to be able to pay rent. You won't be able to keep up with your relationships. And I promise you, all of that is just noise that your associative mind comes up with because it thinks that true peace is too good to be true. It thinks that by design, because it is only capable of drawing associations into the past and of anticipating the future. The mind can weigh pros and cons of different practical decisions you might make. But if you're really honest with yourself, then you understand that the heart is the only part of you, the deepest part of you, that really knows. And that's what I mean when I talk about the difference between belief and faith. People think that spirituality is about belief, but everyday life is about belief. Everyone is so caught up in belief. We believe in our institutions. We believe in all of these different things that we identify with. We believe in the vibratory field of human interpretation as being absolute truth. And that belief causes us to see ourselves as limited, to see ourselves as merely a physical body that was suddenly placed in this world, that will disappear one day and never cease to incarnate or live again. Belief and fear are synonymous, because in order to believe in a concept or to believe in an identity, you have to believe in your own separation from life. You have to believe in your own self-limitation. Faith is surrendering completely to the flow of life, no matter the seeming external consequences. And from the limited perspective of the finite mind, that is really scary. But the heart is so intelligent. It is connected to all of the deepest intricacies of your body, of your very DNA. And as you sink deeper and deeper into the silence of authenticity, the authenticity of silence, you experience a complete cellular revolution, a rebirth, a renewal of the deepest parts of yourself. And it seems to take place in time as the consequence of prolonged spiritual practice. But that's just how the associative mind tries to grab hold of it and claim it as its own. That's just how the associative mind tries to stop itself from dying. You identify with being a seeker because you're afraid of dying. You identify with being a seeker because you know that no concepts fit through the eye of the needle. You own nothing. And because of that, you have everything. All of the different meditative practices that you read about and watch videos about, those are all very useful. I love chakra toning myself, right? And I love the whole metaphysical game of spirituality. I do. But the deepest practice is simply listening to life and responding exactly as life compels you to. Because life, from a limited perspective, is hard enough. And it is your greatest teacher. Because as you fulfill your dharma, so to speak, all of your karma will and does come up. This is a law. You don't need to artificially interfere with it by forcing yourself to engage in practices that don't feel resonant just because you feel like you should in order to awaken. Awakening means absolutely fucking nothing if you're not happy, if you're not open, if you're not honest, if you're not in love. So just listen. And you'll hear exactly what you need to. Tomorrow is Sunday, which means I'm going to be doing another Sunday satsang live streamed right here on the channel. If you feel guided to, I would love for you to stop by and say hi. Be streaming for around an hour or so. And of course, as I love to do at the end of these videos, I'm going to plug my website, truthandeverything.org. I do one-on-one calls, tarot readings, written inquiries, all sorts of shit. You are a spiritual master. You are God.